What's up, youth group people? Hey, let's look at John chapter 15 today for the verse of the day. I put verse 4 up on the Discord, but I'll read a few verses here because it's all really good. I'm in my Bible, John 15, verse 1. I am the true vine. Now, these words are in red. This is Jesus talking. I am the true vine, and my Father is the gardener. He cuts off every branch in me that bears no fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, he prunes, so that it will be even more fruitful. You are already clean because of the word I have spoken to you. Here's verse 4, the one I posted. Remain in me, and I will remain in you. Again, this is Jesus talking. Remain in me, Jesus says, and I will remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. Neither can you bear fruit unless you remain in me. Now, no branch. So Jesus starts off with this picture. We are just these little branches attached to the vine. This was like super common. It's like, it'd be like saying in Burbank, like a lemon tree, or something like they're everywhere, right? Vines were all over that region. So this was very familiar to them at the time to talk about vines and branches, because the vine would be that main part of the tree, well, it's not a tree, it's a vine, but this is the part that goes into the ground, and the branch comes out of the vine. Well, basically in verse 4, right, Jesus is saying, remain in me and I will remain in you. No branch can bear fruit by itself. So if that branch gets separated from the vine, guess what? It no longer is growing. It's no longer bearing any fruit. It's not even alive anymore. At this point, it's a dead vine. A dead branch. Because it's disconnected from the source of everything. The vine and the roots that go into the ground, this is where all of the nutrients come from. This is what gives it life. And if a branch gets disconnected from the vine, it's dead. And this is what Jesus is saying. He's using this picture to talk about a relationship with him. He's saying, if you remain in me, Jesus says, if you remain in me, you will bear much fruit. And I will also remain in you. So there's this promise of when we are drawing close to Christ, not only are we abiding, I guess I should say this, the word remain is also abide, which means a place to make your home or your abode, right? So if you abide in Christ, in Jesus, he will also abide with you, in you. Okay, so we abide in Christ. He remains in us. And he says in that instance, in that point of time, when you're abiding in him and he's abiding in you, you'll bear much fruit. The fruits of the Spirit, like, joy, love, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, self-control, all that stuff, that's all going to flow from you. But no branch can bear fruit by itself. It must remain in the vine. And then verse 5, which I didn't post, but I'll read today. I am the vine, you are the branches. If a man remains in me and I in him, he will bear much fruit. Apart from me, here's the kicker now in verse 5. Apart from me, Jesus says, apart from me, you can do nothing. Let me read that again. Apart from me, you can do nothing. So here, how do we abide? How do we remain in Christ? Well, this is all about a relationship. You are building a relationship with Jesus. You are remaining. Remaining is about having a relationship with him. So, to have a relationship with somebody, what do you got to do? We got to spend time with them. If you think about your friends, what do you do with your close friends? You're texting them all the time, Snapchatting them, or you're sending them your favorite TikTok videos. Yeah, I know what TikTok is. That's right. You're talking to them. You're communicating. You're exchanging information. You're spending time with them. That's how you build a relationship. Spending time. So what can you do to do that with Jesus? Well, you can pray. What else can you do? You can read the Word. You can do what you're doing right now, which is listening to devotionals from your youth pastor or your worship pastor or any other pastor at our church or anywhere. Okay, listening to devotionals, learning about Jesus. But whatever you do, however you do it, spend time with Jesus. Get to know him. Remain in him. Remain in that, have that as a part of your daily routine and remain doing it all the time so that you are building a relationship with Christ. So important, because when you do that, you'll bear much fruit. And apart from Jesus, when you don't have a relationship with him, we're not building a relationship, wow, Jesus is really clear. He says you can do nothing. So I could go about my job as a worship pastor on my own skills and merits, using the skills that I've practiced and built up in my life, and it could do nothing. Or Jesus says, together, when I remain in him, we'll bear much fruit. My ministry will be fruitful. Jesus will use it for what he wants to do. That's what I want. I want Jesus to use our ministry at churches, to use our church to do what he wants to do. I don't want to try and do it on my own. I got no power. I got nothing. So that's my encouragement to you today. Remain in the vine. Remain connected to Jesus. Build a relationship with him. You will never regret it, and he will bear much fruit in you. Have a great day and a great week. Bye.